Max the Curse of Brotherhood is not technically an indie title, but it's the first sort of smaller digital-only release to come to Microsoft's Xbox One, and it is so satisfying and so much fun that really, if you're sort of stuck in that lull period where there's not really that many games coming out and you're thinking of going and get your 360, stop, get the store open, connect up to Live, and download Max Curse of Brotherhood. It's by small Microsoft studio called Press Play. They've only really done a few DS games here and there, and this is just really fun platforming 2D. Just super enjoyable.
Absolutely. I think it was originally a DS game, wasn't it? Max, it was like a magic marker, I think it was called, something like that. So the essential gameplay mechanic is much the same, right?
Yeah, totally. So basically, Max is an asshole, and his brother's an asshole, and he sends his brother away to some portal, like, hell place because they're both assholes. And he's like, oh, I've got to save him. So he jumps through. And then he's basically on this adventure to save his brother. So the jumping's a little bit floaty, as you might be able to see here in this footage, which initially, after Little Big Planet, is a worry. You know, it's like this horrible fear that jumping's going to be floaty. It's like the bane of modern platformers. But then, eventually, you get this magic marker. And what that allows you to do is manipulate objects in the world. So, for example, you're running along, you need to get up to a high ledge, can't reach it. Oh, you can use the marker to drag like a column of dirt out of the ground and use that as a stepping stone. And progressively, that gets more intricate. So you can only do this in predetermined points as well, which means every puzzle has one way of completing it, which sounds limited, but actually, Press Play mix it up so much that you never even really notice any repetition.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. But so basically, you get vines that you need to create so you can swing across ledges. You can draw branches into the world. You can draw like streams of water, which will like catch you and like sort of whoosh you up into different places. And the best thing is when you have to start combining those powers. And I think there's a couple of puzzles, especially near the end, you combine like 5 or 6 different things at once. And it gets super intense really, really quickly. Like, that's the only sort of issue, is it does get super intense, and a thumbstick just isn't as precise as a stylus for a DS, for example. So you do run into the occasional problem with the marker just not doing what you need it to, but thankfully the sort of checkpoint system is so liberal. Like, if you die, it will literally pretty much stick you exactly where you need to be to restart it quickly. And yeah, it's just super fun. You know, it costs I think it costs $11.99 at the minute, so it's really cheap. And you know, you're going to get, I think my run through was 6 or 8 hours.
Okay, so that's not too bad.
It's pretty good, actually. Like, considering the amount of fun I had over the time, highly recommended.
That's the other thing I'm sort of noticing as we're watching this footage is it's clearly, you know, straight 2D platformer, no nonsense there. But there's some nice touches in terms of sort of dynamic camera moves. So it still feels quite kinetic and quite active, even though it could have come across as rather boring and kind of linear.
Yeah, totally. They do a really good job of using the camera just to like create this tension, because Max can't damage anything, so all the time you're just sort of trying to keep an eye on what's going on. It's really pretty as well. It sort of takes you through a jungle world, a desert world, you know, the usual video game locations, and yeah, just from start to finish, everything from like presentation to gameplay to polish, it's just really good. The only issues are that little problem with the thumbstick, and Max being such an asshole, but he had died so much that probably make you a little bit happy.
So what did you give it in the end?
We gave it 8 out of 10. Very good.